Russia will lose 100,000 soldiers in Ukraine war this year. Zelensky.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday said he is convinced the Russian army will lose 100,000 military personnel in the war by the end of 2022. Speaking in an evening video address, Zelensky added that Russia is losing hundreds of mobilized soldiers and mercenaries in the Donetsk region, where Ukrainian forces are holding against Russian offense. They said they would capture the Donetsk region in spring, summer, autumn. Winter begins this week already. They wasted their regular army there, they lose hundreds of mobilized and mercenaries there every day, they use barrier troops there, the Ukrainian president said, adding, this year, Russia will lose 100,000 of its soldiers killed and only God knows how many mercenaries. Zelensky went on to note that Russian forces are continuing their push in the regions of Donetsk, Luhansk and Kharkiv despite suffering great military losses. While many of the Russian soldiers have been killed by Ukrainian attacks, Kyiv's military force might not be the only reason for the deaths of Russian troops. Citing viral videos shot by Ukrainian drones, Forbes reported Sunday that Russian soldiers are freezing to death by the dozen in eastern Ukraine. In July, Ukraine's security service released a text message exchange purportedly between two Russian soldiers in which they complained about being forced to eat dog meat due to food shortages.
This post received a score of 12,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What a grotesque waste of life.
I remember in high school we'd demonstrate the numbers of casualties, from WW1 and WW2, amongst our classmates. Our school was small, about 300 people. Thinking 1,000 people was three of my high schools was a mind-numbing number of faces and names. 100k people. I can't even imagine that. A football stadium of people just turned to meet 100k people, like people I have met in my life. All of them, the best, the worst, drug addicted, rich, poor, and those just trying to live. Unbelievable unnecessary waste of life.
My home county's population is 100k. Wild to think that many lives have been tossed away from one country, in addition to Ukraine's own losses and displaced people. Fuck.
And the dead aren't even some tragic cost for victory. They lost all those people and still lose. And they've destroyed their economy, wrecked their reputation as a military powerhouse, as well as pushed away all but the most essential Western business.
What an absolute fucking waste of lives. All for a damn coward hiding in a bunker somewhere.
I stared at this comment trying to make sense of it for like 10 seconds before I realized I wasn't in the US defeats Iran in the World Cup post like I meant to click on.
Wasn't their initial build-up something like 110,000? Never would have predicted this prior to February 24th.
It's really not a small number and sucks how many senseless passed away, but the size of Russia's army is a lot more massive and number just going to get worse. It's historical kind of their thing.
Senseless deaths for so many men who just wanted to fucking live their one life on Earth like everyone else.
Right? You'd think by 2022 and the level of globalization we'd have figured out how to sort ourselves out better without using ourselves as dispensable pawns. No matter how far we claim we've advanced, bad leaders are gonna be bad leaders.
I used to think that people in general were better than this. It's easy to place all of the blame on one man, but that is just a convenient excuse. As if we would be just fine without that one person. However, just imagine the number of people that have to be complicit in order for anything of this magnitude to go so far. It is not just one man, it is so many people.
Greater than Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday said he is convinced the Russian army will lose 100,000 military personnel in the war by the end of 2022. I mean, obviously Zelensky is going to say that. Is there actually any data backing that number up?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.